Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has finally responded to Jim Jordan's request that she turn over all the materials that she has used to indict Donald Trump and 18 other co-defendants. In other words, Jim Jordan recently sent a letter to Fani Willis saying, "Give me everything that you have got." Took her a little while, possibly because she was coming up with some of the best insults I've ever seen. But on Thursday, Fani Willis finally responded to Jim Jordan and let him know that, one, he's illegally interfering in an investigation that he has no authority over, and two, you're kind of dumb. Now, she didn't say he's kind of dumb, but the implication is definitely there. So let me read you some of the best passages from this 9-page letter that Fani Willis sent to Jim Jordan, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. Your attempt to invoke congressional authority to intrude upon and interfere with an active criminal case in Georgia is flagrantly at odds with the Constitution. There is absolutely no support for Congress purporting to second-guess or somehow supervise an ongoing Georgia criminal investigation and prosecution. That violation of Georgia's sovereignty is offensive and will not stand. Okay, so she kind of starts off, little like, hey, listen, you don't have authority here, you have no jurisdiction, we're not beholden to you, so get out of here. Then things get a little more heated. She tells him that he's got to deal with some basic realities. A special purpose grand jury made up of everyday citizens investigated for 10 months and made recommendations to me. A further reality is that a grand jury of completely different Fulton County citizens found probable cause against the defendant's name in the indictment for RICO violations and various other felonies. Here is another reality you must face. Those who wish to avoid felony charges in Fulton County, Georgia, including violations of Georgia RICO law, should not commit felonies in Fulton County, Georgia. In this jurisdiction, every person is subject to the same laws and the same process. There's more, but I just love that. Like, hey, here's an idea. If you don't want to get arrested, don't break the law. Shocker, right? But she has to explain that to him because Jim Jordan seems to have a real issue with that. Continues, your letter makes clear that you lack a basic understanding of the law, its practice, and the ethical obligations of attorneys generally and prosecutors specifically. For a more thorough understanding of Georgia's RICO statute, its application, and similar laws in other states, I encourage you to read RICO state by state. As a non-member of the bar, you can purchase a copy for $249. Damn! Like, hey, you seem like you're pretty dumb. Here's a book you can read that may enlighten you a little bit. It's $250. You can go find it. That, damn. That's all I can say. That's below the belt, and Jim Jordan absolutely deserved it. And she's not done yet. As it seems you have a personal interest in the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, you should consider directing the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate the racist threats that have come to my staff and me because of this investigation. She then included 10 examples. And she said, I am providing these examples to give you a window into what has happened to my staff and me as I keep the promise of my oath to the United States and Georgia constitutions and do not allow myself to be bullied by members of Congress, local elected officials, or other who believe Lady Justice should not be blind and that America has different laws for different citizens. Now, I imagine if she were holding a microphone at that point, she'd be dropping it. Because that is absolutely 100% a mic drop moment. But the bottom line is this. Jim Jordan had no authority, even as chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, to interfere with a Fulton County, Georgia investigation. He has no authority to demand that she turn over those documents. He was hoping that maybe she didn't know that. Clearly she does. I'm assuming she has probably read that book that she recommended to Jim Jordan. But this is what we're dealing with, folks. A bunch of corrupt Republicans running the House of Representatives who do not understand how the law works, and they're willing to do everything in their power, even things that aren't in their power, to try to protect the corrupt as hell Donald Trump. Hey everyone, This is Aspen. And did you know that for the low, low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.